As I look out on this church today and all of you, I want to thank you for being here to honor the life of Treva Foss Thoms and to commend her to God. In many ways, this is exactly what Treva thought would happen. She knew that this church would be full of people here to support William, Alex, Isaac, and myself. She knew that Christ Church and Bronxville would lift up our family in love and support. And she knew that her death would be by her own hand. What she would not have believed is that you are actually here today for her. She knew that she was loved, but she didn't understand why anyone could love her. If she and I could sit down today and talk about what we are doing, she would not believe that you are all here because your lives were made better or brighter because of her life. Throughout her life, she fought constant doubt in herself and often could not accept thanks or praise from others because she felt unworthy. One of our favorite movies was Forrest Gump. I am not sure what part of the movie she liked, but I know what my favorite part of the movie is, and that is the love Forrest had for Jenny. Like Jenny, Treva was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. And my love for her was deep and unconditional. Treva's childhood was not much different from Jenny's. She was hurt deeply by her father as a young child. She lost a very dear sister, Janelle, when she was only about 5 years old, and she spent her whole life feeling guilty about Janelle's death. This led her to many difficult choices as a youth. When I met Treva in her sophomore year of college at St. Olaf, she expressed to me many times that she was surprised she had lived as long as she had, and often said that she would die young. In fact, she probably would not have lived to meet me if it was not for the love and friendship of Sue, her best and dearest friend. I first met Treva on the St. Olaf Choir Tour in 1993 when I joined the choir as a violinist. In nearly every rehearsal and performance, she was standing right behind me, and I was blown away by this purple-haired, strange-clothed, nose-ring-wearing girl with the beautiful voice. One great moment in our friendship was on the 1994 choir tour of California when we sat together on the bus for weeks and talked and hung out. We had so much fun together. Later that spring, it struck me that I really liked Treva, and so I told her. Her immediate reaction was not good. She looked a bit shocked and said, "We'll talk about this later." A couple days later, she called me in my dorm room and told me that she was flattered, but thought that we should just be friends. My reaction was not quite what she expected. I was so excited that she wanted to be my friend, and that she had officially labeled it our relationship. A month later, at the end of school, after the baccalaureate, she gave me a note completely folded up and said, "Don't read this until you get home." So I literally held it in my left hand for 7 hours, and when I got home, I read her letter, which listed all the things that were wrong with me. I was so excited that she cared enough about me to point out all of my flaws. And so I hung up the letter next to my bed so I would know what to work on over the break. Throughout that summer, I prayed every night that Treva would find someone to love her, since she was my friend. but also prayed that I might find someone since it obviously wasn't going to be Treva. I wrote her lengthy letters multiple times a week and then would immediately call her and tell her everything that was in the letter I just sent. Treva later shared that it was that summer that she knew something was different. Treva came and visited me at the end of that summer, and our first date was my 20th birthday. By October, we were dating, and the first time we held hands, Treva immediately pulled her hand away, looked at me, regripped, and said, "If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right." That became our motto for our life together. We would often say it to each other in different moments throughout our life. Over 24 years of marriage, Treva and I were always best friends. I believe that she eventually learned to trust me with her love. And for a majority of our marriage, we were hardly ever apart. The highlight of our lives was moving to Bronxville, where we both taught music together at Concordia and had the opportunity to worship and sing here at Christ Church. We were simply amazing work colleagues, working, supporting each other, making a difference in the lives of the students, working in disciplines that made our hearts sing, literally. Treva loved her work and her students. She would come home sharing joys and disappointments over the work of her students. She worked often on her singing and gave many recitals and performances. She was a leader on the faculty and a friend of her colleagues and a mentor to her students. The highlight of her career was our Carnegie Hall concert in 2017, which she spent nearly 2 years working on, and then was one of the featured soloists. It broke her heart when her job at Concordia ended. Treva, I'd like to thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for teaching me about life and love, friendship, and now death. In so many ways, we were different from each other, but that only strengthened our friendship and love. I'm sorry that you were in so much pain over the last few months and that I could not do enough to make it go away. I am just one example of someone whose life was made better and brighter by you. You will be dearly missed. Please say hello to your mom and Brian and Janelle, and may your voice ring out across the heavens as you sing, freed from pain, sorrow, depression, and doubt. I will see you again, and I look forward to that meeting.